scored at least 9 points in this game. 8 of the 9 scored in double figures as we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors postgame live with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli.
Yes,
I am Bonte Hill. We talked about setting the tone in the first quarter. Last night, just 19 points. Putrid shooting in that first frame. Tonight, they scored 34. They followed up with a 40-point quarter, and the ball was hopping around tonight, Fezzi.
The way you set the tone in the first quarter is by scoring, yes, but ball movement, playing some defense. I thought the Warriors did that. The beautiful thing about this game tonight, they scored 34 points in the first quarter. And from there, it was just a show, right? It's 40 points in the second quarter. You had 22 and 37 in the fourth quarter. Every quarter of this game, there was a leading scorer, and it was a different person. The first quarter, it was Will Richard. Second quarter, Moses Moody. Third quarter, Guy Santos, and then GP2 in the fourth. I thought the ball was moving, the 37 assists. They shot 50, 40, almost 90, except for those last 2 missed free throws, which also could have had everybody in double digits in the game. This was just a game just to get right, get people back in the flow again, and just, you get in the flight back home and feel good about yourself.
Very similar game to last night. I thought the Warriors were a little bit more intentional on attacking the paint to start the game. I think they knew they could score in the paint easily against this Grizzlies defense, but more importantly, not overdoing on the three-point shots. In turn, the efficiency numbers off the charts: 53 from the field, 41 from the three-point line, and 89 from the free throw line. But they made 19 threes, 22s, and 16 free throws. That's a balanced attack. You mentioned 37 assists. Everyone getting a piece of the action. So just a good bounce-back game. I think we felt if they were going to get similar looks than they got last night, they're going to knock down that fast share. But it was really impressive to have 8 guys in double figures. And, Malfi could have been in double figures, missed those 2 free throws. But yeah, I thought he played a good game, too. So everyone that stepped on the floor played well.
Yeah, Malfi Leon's 8 rebounds off the bench, 9 points there. He played very well in a set. He's on a 2-way contract, of course, but the Warriors, plus 14 when it came to points in the paint, plus 14 when it came to the glass. They shot the ball well and handled their business. As we go back out to FedEx Forum to Fitzibuki, who's got Will Richard standing by.
Getting out and getting steals, Will Richard, GP2, just their energy level alone. I mean, Will Richard started the game tonight. It's just Steve Kerr looking for that energy, that juice to shake things up a little bit. And I think they did that in the first half, and then really going into the half with that lead, scoring 40 points and holding them to 22.
And, Bonte, you've been talking about starts. And tonight they got off to a good start, 34-31, so they didn't build a big lead. But I thought they established themselves. The first play of the game, they posted up Al Horford in the paint on the switch. You saw those clips there, driving the paint either to finish for yourself or kick out for open threes. So the fact I thought they were very intentional on attacking the paint first and let the three-point shots be created by that aggression. And then the second quarter is what won the game, 40-22. Interesting stat, both teams had 16 turnovers, but the Warriors are plus 19. So that shows the activity, the aggressiveness in the open floor. So that's usually a big number for the Warriors, but they've struggled. Even when they force turnovers, they haven't getting those big numbers, that separation. So to me, I thought that was a big number. Obviously, the fast break points because of that go up. Second chance points. They just all the hustle points went the Warriors' way. On a back-to-back with just 9 guys, that's an impressive performance.
Yeah, you speak about that first quarter. They shoot 61% in the first frame, 41% from the three-point line. 10 assists last night. Fezzi down in Nolens only had 3 assists after the first quarter. They shot 30% from the three-point line. They were 8 of 25 from the floor, shooting 32%. So even though they only had a 3-point lead after the first frame, as Mully just mentioned, they established their style of play and the ball movement. The ball was hopping around, good shot selection, and good balance.
I got to give some credit to, Will Richard. I got to give some credit to Guy Santos. I got to give a lot of credit to Brandon Podziemski tonight. I think he did a great job starting the game, being a ball mover, making quick decisions. And guys got involved in the flow in the first quarter. And then with Steph out the game, with all these other guys, all these scores, you need everybody to be in the game and to play together. This is one of those games where the sum of the parts is greater than just the sum of the individual parts. Some of the individual parts is greater than the sum.
We got you.
However way you say that. I just really enjoyed watching Pods tonight. He's been on fire, but tonight I think Pods came back and he was aggressive. He got people involved. He was hitting shots, making extra plays. Pods has been special. We talked about him having back-to-back 15 rebound games. Well, this was another game where he came in and, he was just getting everybody involved.
How about that for the birthday boy? 23 years young, Willie. 19 tonight, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. His 7th straight game with 10-plus points. He gets to start tonight. The Warriors, look, this was their 26 different starting lineup, but he goes in seamlessly, gets the team off to a good start, and he produces his 3rd consecutive solid night.
Yeah, I mean, flirting with a triple-double. You see the 8 rebounds there. So just a nice performance by Pods. But to me, as a group, all 9 guys that played well. And to me, that's important because they also played together. 37 assists, the high efficiency numbers. Now you need to maintain that type of play when you get healthy. So I think it's a positive step in the right direction to putting this team back together to make a run these last 24 games or so.
Well, let's break down the ball movement here. Leading to those open shots against the Memphis Grizzlies here. We broke it down in our pregame show, the open shots they missed last night. They're ice cold against New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center. Well, tonight they took advantage of those open shots. You see Will Richard. Last night he didn't tip the field goal, Bully. Tonight he goes crazy in the starting lineup, 9 of 15, 21 points. He's actually scored a double figures in 3 of his last 4 games. So they took advantage of those open looks tonight against Memphis.
But also you see all these shots are created by dribble penetration. Here's Al with the step-in 3 on the trail. But Bonte, as we mentioned in the first quarter last night, not only were they missing open shots, they were not finding the rhythm because of the turnovers in the first half. Tonight, a much better job of creating shots for each other. If you watch those clips, those are rhythm shots. If you're reading the game, reading the music, that's a shot created, and it's in rhythm. There's no question that shots should be taken as opposed to hesitation, over-dribbling. So that's why I think as a group, this is a great game to move forward with, especially when Steph and Draymond and hopefully Porzingis get back on the court.
I mean, when I watch a game like this, I think so much about, having 5 guys who can shoot on the floor at the same time. And, the saying, I had to look it up on my phone, it's the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. and this is what it looks like when you play like this. When everybody's aggressive, I mean, Malafide comes into the game, and he was aggressive off jump. Like, he was getting rebounds. He had 8 rebounds tonight. He was getting shots. He had the one in the corner, Molly, where we were laughing. Like, he was standing behind the teeth of the defense, and the defense doesn't pay attention to him, but Pat sees him and throws it right to him. Everybody was on a string. It felt good to watch the team just kind of be on the same page. But also, they have to play this way. They have to play, you have to move the basketball. You got to attack Pods, Pat Spencer. All these guys have to make plays for other guys. I thought even Al Horford came into the game, and he was aggressive as well.
Yeah, 5 offensive rebounds for Leon's coming off the bench there. Very impressive young man coming up from the G League, I should say. The other night against New Orleans, or last night against New Orleans, they were 10 of 39 on open looks from the three-point line. You have to figure they shot a lot better tonight against Memphis. Why? They hit the open looks, but that was all due to the ball movement tonight against Memphis. 37 assists. Everybody touched the ball. Everybody got in on the action. And they scored 133, Fezzi fell.
Oh, yeah. I love it when the ball is moving like this. Bonte, you see GP2 on a string, you just don't hold it. This is the whole point of the Warriors offense, motion offense. When you have 5 guards on the floor, or you even have a guy like Al Horford, who was a big, but he also sees the floor so well. He was commanding double teams right there because he was the biggest guy on the floor. And the ball just continues to move until you find an opening. You get the other team tired. This is not a very good defensive team, the Memphis Grizzlies, but the first side is always easier. It's always easier to guard. The second, third, fourth, that's usually the harder part. I thought the Warriors got to the third, fourth options. That's where you can have those incredible assist numbers.
Yeah, when you play 5 out and motion basketball, you saw those clips there. The defense is chasing the basketball because, as Fessa said, they had to guard all 5 guys. If you have 1 or 2 guys out there that are reluctant to shoot, all of a sudden you have one player in the middle of the playing zone, basically, and they're not rotating. You're not getting that defense changing sides of the floor. So when they close out, you can attack that close off the dribble, and now you got them on a string. So I thought that was a good point. You have 5 players, aggressive, and especially when you're playing motion. If you're running set plays, it's a little bit easy to place players where you want them to be. The Warriors don't. Most of the NBA does not play like that, and the Warriors definitely do not.
Yeah, Pat Spencer, 9 assists off the bench, 37 in all, as we keep mentioning here. They're going to fly home happy, getting the split on this back-to-back. We'll hear from Steve Kerr. On the other side, we've got trivia, we've got live reaction, and Steve Jr., It's a tough young man, but a nice bounce-back game from him and a nice chase-down block.
Now, of course, this is effort. You know, in a game like this, especially when you're trying to bounce back from a tough loss that you had last night against the New Orleans Pelicans, the effort part you never want to question. With a team like this, with all their scorers and their main veterans being out, you have guys, Pat Spencer, Will Richard, GP2, they play with a lot of energy. Moses Moody continues to get better. And I think this team right now, if they continue to click like this and find ways to get easy shots, they can get some wins while they're waiting for Steph Curry to get healthy.
Yeah, Bonte, I think it was a great bounce-back game. It's he played 32 minutes tonight, 12 points, 9 assists. But it's great when you can have 9 guys had really good performances, but as a group they played well. Yep. So that's a good sign. And a lot of these guys, look, when they get healthy, their minutes will go down, obviously, but to have that confidence from themselves and also have the confidence of your coaching staff and your teammates.
Is there anybody as confident as Guy Santos right now? He's getting some run. He's scoring. He's grabbing rebounds. Tonight, 6 of 7 from the floor, 17 points, only 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Look, he's on a heater right now. 11 of his last 12, he scored in double figures. In his last 4, he scored in double figures. He just looks like a completely different player. He's confident. He's letting it fly. He's hustling, coming up with deflections. He's confident right now, Willie. It's a welcome sight for the Dubs.
Rational confidence because he knows exactly what to do offensively and defensively. And he obviously pays attention to scout report, Bonte, because he's 6 for 7. He didn't mess around and take too many threes. He was going for layups and dunks because there's no one down there.
He's the one guy that consistently cuts through the paint. Knows exactly where to be. Guys are finding him. And Guy is getting good chemistry with the rest of the team. I think Guy is that guy that continues to get better. And right now in this stretch where a lot of those guys are not in the game, he is really taking this game to another level. Whether it's like shooting threes when he needs to or making plays or being a scorer, he's done it all.
All right, let's go to our Mercury Insurance drive of the game.